Yes, my dear, I am here with a very interesting topic named set, and this is very important for you also because this set serves as foundation for the rest of mathematics. And believe me, this is very simple because there is nothing to calculate in this chapter. Just you have to use some rules. Okay, mainly in this video, I will explain first the definition and how to represent a set, and then the different types of set. So try to understand whatever I am going to explain now, because if you understand this concept completely, then you will find it easy to solve the other questions from the chapters like relation, function, sequence and series, etc. Okay, let's get started. Set is defined as the collection of well-defined and distinct objects or elements. Here I can write collection of just objects and elements. Why I have written here well-defined and distinct? To understand the definition of set, here the most important this well-defined and distinct is. So let us understand what exactly the meaning of well-defined and distinct are. For example, the vowels of English alphabet. As you know, the vowels of English alphabet are A, E, I, O, U. Okay. These are the collections of vowels of English alphabet. It is distinct and it is well defined. Why it is distinct and well defined? Vowels of English alphabet, it is well defined, and A, E, I, O, U are the vowels of English alphabet. If I want to take the vowels of English alphabet as objects, then obviously I will take A, E, I, O, U. And if you want to take same the vowels of English alphabet, then also you will take A, E, I, O, U. Anyone, if they want to take the vowels as object from English alphabet, then they will take A, E, I, O, U. This is not changing. This everyone will take these objects, right? That's why this is distinct and it will be a set. Here I have given one curly bracket. Why I have given the curly bracket? A little bit later I will explain this. Okay, then the question is, which is not distinct, which is not well defined. Let me take another example. For example, collection of beautiful actresses of India. Okay. If I want to take the beautiful actresses as object, and if I want to take a group of beautiful actresses, then I can take, for example, that Alia, Ananya, or Kaira, and I have given curly bracket. This is not a set, though you have taken some examples. Why it will not be a set? You know, I have taken Alia, Ananya, Kaira, but in case of you, on your view, maybe this Alia, Ananya, Kaira are not beautiful actresses. Probably you will take Deepika, Anushka, or Kriti Sanon, for example, right? Whenever I have taken Alia, Ananya, Kaira, and you have taken Deepika, Anushka, Kriti, like this, if another one wants to take, maybe they will take other examples, other objects, what is going on actually? It is changing. It is relative. It is changing from individual to individual. Right? It is not as fixed. So it is not, these elements are not distinct. So in this case, this will not be a set. Now I hope you understood what exactly here I mean the well defined and distinct. Let me repeat once again that here the vowels of English alphabet, right? You have taken A, E, I, O, U. Anyone in this world, if they want to take vowels of English alphabets as objects, then they have to take A, E, I, O, U, right? If your Prime Minister Modi ji wants to take, then also he will take these examples, these objects. Oh, sorry, once he made a mistake on a plus b whole square formula. I don't know if he did mistake like this also. I am not responsible for Modi ji. Okay, whatever maybe. But in case of beautiful actresses of India, I have taken this one. You have taken this one. Other people may take other examples. So it is not distinct. It is not a set, and these objects are not distinct. But here these objects are distinct. Understood? Now let me explain why this curly bracket is here and how we can write a set and what exactly the order or arrangement of a set is. Okay. To write, whenever you will write a set within these braces, you have to write. Okay? Whatever the elements, whatever the objects you have, within these braces you have to write these objects. Then it will be a set. If you write within this bracket, then it will not be a set. Your answer is wrong. If you write within this bracket, then also your answer is wrong. Understood? Now, exactly what is the order of a set? For example, the letters in word school. You are taking this S, C, H, A, O, N as objects. Then how you will take S, C, for example S, C, H, O, N, and you have given curly bracket. Remember that this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Between the bracket, one element can't be repeated. Here O I have written 2 times. It will be just S, C, H, O, L. Now you understood. Within the bracket, no need to write one element 2 times. Now, suppose this is a set 1, 2, 3. If I write this set like this 2, 1, 3, then also it is correct. If I write 3, 1, 2, then also it is correct. In a set, from the elements, which one you are writing in the first, which one you are writing in the second, which one you are writing in the last, it doesn't matter. Just if all the elements are there, then it is okay. Understood? Then what you learn, that to write a set, first within braces you have to write elements by commas like this. You have to give these braces, and all the elements, any elements can't be repeated. Only one time all the elements you have to write, and whatever the arrangements of these elements are, it doesn't matter. I hope you understood the definition of set, and how to write the elements of set, I hope you understood well. Now that our first this one is completed, let me start how to represent a set. We can represent a set in three ways, right? These three ways are, first one is roster method, and second one is rule method, and another method is there, visual representation. Visual representation. Now let us understand what exactly this roster method is, and rule method is, and visual representation is. In the first roster method, you will just list the elements. You will just write the elements, like how during the explanation of definition I have taken example that vowel of English alphabet, right? Then in roster method, if you want to write this set, then you can write just A, E, I, O, U. Here in the roster method, elements are listed and separated by commas. This is exactly what roster method is. What exactly here? That elements are listed and separated by commas. Okay, I hope you understood what exactly roster method is. Like this, in the roster method, if you want to take the group of natural number, set of natural number, then just you can write that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Understood what exactly roster method is? Now let me explain what exactly rule method is. In rule method, elements are not listed by commas. In rule method, the set is represented by its property, right? Then, for example, what I have taken in case of roster method, this set of vowel of English alphabet. Then, in the rule method, you have to take like this, that X is such that X is vowel of English alphabet. Understood? Then in case of the example, which one again I have taken when I was doing roster method, that set of natural number. Then set of natural number, how you can write in the form of rule method, that X is such that X is natural number. Natural number. Exactly within the curly bracket, just write the property of your set. And here it is a set. It is a set which contains element X, such that X is vowel of English alphabet. Understood what exactly that roster method is, rule method is? Okay. Now let me explain what the third one, visual representation. How you can represent the elements, a set, in visual representation. In visually, if you want to represent a set, then just within a circle or within a loop, just write the elements. That is the set of vowels A, E, I, O, U. Suppose the name of that set is P, then just write here P. Then it will be the visual representation of the set, the group of vowel of English alphabet. Understood? Okay, now roster method is also known as listing method, also tabular form. And here rule method is also known as set builder method, and property form. Okay, remember that roster method, listing method, tabular method are same, and rule method, set builder method, and property form are same. In the exams, most of the time you will get the question in set builder method, in rule method, or in property form. So you have to be smart to write the elements from set builder method. Understood? Here in the description I will give later a PDF, and in this PDF the different examples will be there, which will be in the both roster form and rule method. I hope if you open this PDF, then you will understand more about roster method and rule method. Understood? Visual representation is not so important, and in 9th and 10th probably this visual representation is not there in the representation of set. Understood? Now in the representation of set is completed. Now the most important part, that let us understand how the different types of set. Different types of sets are there. Let me explain by taking one by one of them. At first, let me take finite set. With finite set, let me take another one, infinite set also. Then easily you can identify the difference between these two types of set. From the word finite and from the word infinite, I hope you understood a little bit about what a finite set can be and what an infinite set can be, right? Then in finite set, whatever the elements will be there, you can count. For example, a set A, B, C, D, easily in this set, how many elements are there? How many objects are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 objects are there. 4 objects are there. You can count easily. That means it is a finite set. Like this, in infinite set, how many elements are there in the set? You can't count. That means for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. I have taken all the natural number, set of all natural number. Now tell me, you know how many elements are there in this set? No? You don't know? Can you count that how many objects are there in this set? It is impossible to count, right? Then in this case, it will be infinite set. Understood? I hope you understood what is finite set and what is infinite set. Let me proceed to the other types of set. Another one interesting set, that singleton set. The meaning of this set is there in the meaning of this set is there in this word. What it is written? Single. That means if in the set, if only one element is there in a set, only a single one element is there in the set, then this will be be a singleton set, right? Then only one element is there, like this. This is only one element, like this. Only one element is there. If the number of a set is if the number of elements in a set is just one, then this set is known as singleton set. I hope you understood what singleton set is. Now let me take the next one. Null set. Okay, if in a set, if there is no element in a set, then this set is known as null set. For example, set of natural number less than 1. You know natural number starts from 1 and there is no natural number which is less than 1. Then in this case the number of elements is what? 0, right? So this set is known as null set. Understood? If there is no element in a set, then this set is known as null set, right? And more interesting things are there about null set. This null set is also known as void set. It is also known as empty set. Okay, and null set is represented by a Greek letter, and this letter is phi. It is not pi, it is phi. Okay, and what exactly this phi is? This phi means just this one. This phi is a null set. To represent a null set, if you just write this phi, it is okay. Or if you write just this one, this braces, then it is okay. Remember that if you give these braces, then no need to write anything in the bracket, right? If you write anything in the bracket, then it will not be a set. Suppose you have written phi within the curly bracket, then this is not a null set. What? This will be a singleton set. Exactly which one I have explained in serial number 3, that this is a set. Since you have given curly bracket and you have written something here within the curly bracket, this will be a set, and this set contain an element, and here phi is an element of this set, and here phi is itself is a set which contains no element. Okay, understood? I hope you understood what exactly null set is. Remember that null set is also known as void set, empty set. Okay, if anywhere that void set is written, then it is a null set. If empty set is written, then also remember that it is a null set. Don't get confused in null set, void set, empty set. This name are same, and this means only a single one, that is null set. Understood? Let me proceed to the next one. Now I am writing another set, for example subset, and this is very important. Try to understand this set completely. Most of the time students get confused in this set. Okay, I am directly writing the definition of this set here. Since I didn't write the definition of other set which I have explained, but the definition of this set will be there in the PDF which is attached in the description. Now, the definition of subset will be like this. I am assuming two sets. if A and B are two set, then and all the elements of A are present in B, then A is called the subset of B. Understood? If A and B are two set and all the elements of A are there in B, are present in B, then at that time you can write that A is a subset of B. There is a symbol by which we can represent subset, right? And this symbol is this one. This symbol is known as subset. Understood? Then here I have written in the definition that A and B are two sets and all the elements of A are present in B. Now then in this case I can write this one like this. Then how you can read this one, that here A is a subset of B. Whenever you will write this symbol and when you will read this one, you have to read like this, then A is a subset of B. Okay? To understand more, let us take example. Okay? This is the definition. If you want to note it, then you may note. In the definition, I assume that A and B are two sets and A is a subset of B. For example, A is a set which contains 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and B is a set which contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what are the elements are there in A? The elements are there in A are what? 1, 2, 3. And what are the elements are there in B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the elements that are 1, 2, 3 are there in set B. 1, 2, 3 are there also in set B. 1, 2, 3. Then in this case, A will be a subset of B. Okay. Now the question is, just in this case, what will happen in this case? Here also, all the elements of A are there in B, right? Then A is a subset of B. You can write exactly all the elements of B are also there in A. Then again you can write B is a subset of A. Here the interesting fact is that what? If A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, then A is equals to B. These both sets are equal. Understood? Now, to make two sets equal, you have to show that the both sets are subset of each other. I hope you understood. Now, for example, B contains the element 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in this case, A is a subset of B, yes, but B is not a subset of A. You can't write B is a subset of A since all the elements of B are not there in A. All the elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. But in A only 1, 2, 3 is there, 4 is not there. That's why you can't write B is a subset of A. Understood? Now, another definition, another type of set is related with this subset. It is superset. Superset. What? in case of subset, I explained that A is a subset of B. Then if A is a subset of B, then you can write, then here in this case, B is a superset of A. Here A is a subset of B. B is a superset of A. And this superset, symbolically how you can write,